Listen closely. This is not a coincidence. The reason you're hearing this message right now is because heaven has placed you in a moment of decision, a crossroads of your spirit. The clock has started, and every second that passes echoes in eternity. You may not realize it yet, but you are standing in the middle of a divine rescue mission. I am the Lord your God, and I am speaking directly to you. You've been crying in silence, wondering if anyone has heard your pain. You've been trying to hold everything together while it all keeps falling apart. But I've seen every tear. I've watched every sleepless night. And now I say to you, I'll rescue you. But you must respond. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. You have 21 minutes. Before fear twists your heart, listen to my voice. These 21 minutes are not to scare you. They are a window, narrow, holy, and powerful. It's the time I've carved out of the chaos for you to return to me, to surrender what's been drowning you, to say yes to what I've been whispering in your spirit for so long. You keep thinking you can fix it on your own. You've tried to manage the storm by yourself, hoping one day the pain would fade, but the more you run, the deeper you fall into the quicksand. And I keep reaching out, not to punish you, but to pull you out. My hand is stretched toward you right now, radiant with mercy and light. But I can't force you to take it. You must choose. Look around you. The world is shifting, and so is your spirit. That unease you've been feeling, that sudden restlessness in your heart, it's not anxiety, it's my spirit stirring within you. The heavens are aligning for something that concerns you directly. I am calling you out of confusion, out of guilt, out of the chains that have held you for far too long. You keep saying you're not ready, but I say you are chosen. You keep thinking you're too broken, but I say you are the one I came for. You keep replaying your failures, but I've already written your redemption. Stop running. Stop hiding. Stop pretending you're fine when you're not. You've built walls around your heart so tall that even your own prayers can barely climb over them. You've been protecting yourself from more pain, but those walls have become your prison, and I am here to break them. Do you remember when you used to feel my presence? When you could sense peace even in storms? That wasn't imagination. That was me. You've drifted far, but I've never stopped walking beside you. Every closed door, every disappointment, every heartbreak, I've used them to bring you back to this exact moment. This message isn't reaching millions. It's reaching you. You've been surrounded by noise, screens, opinions, distractions, and yet deep inside, something has been screaming for silence. That's your soul crying for me. You've been looking for love that doesn't leave, for comfort that doesn't fade, for light that doesn't die, and you've been looking everywhere but here. I've watched you fall apart quietly. I've seen you smile for others while bleeding inside. But your pretending days are over. I am peeling away every mask. I am calling your name, not your title, not your image, not who people think you are. You. This is your rescue moment. The enemy has been tightening his grip around you through fear, through temptation, through false promises. But I have broken his hold before, and I'll do it again. You just need to respond. Say my name. Whisper it. Call out to me, not as a ritual, not as a habit, but as a desperate cry from your soul. Because when you call, heaven moves. You've been given 21 minutes, not because time is running out for the world, but because this moment will decide what happens next in your life. I am not distant. I am not ignoring you. I am waiting at the edge of your surrender, ready to step in. Think of the times I saved you before, when you could have lost everything, but somehow you made it through. That wasn't luck. That was me. When you thought you were alone in the darkness, remember how peace suddenly found you? That wasn't coincidence. That was me wrapping you in unseen arms. I have walked through fire to reach you. I've torn down barriers, silenced storms, and bent time itself to give you another chance. But I can't fight what you keep holding on to. You say you want freedom, but you keep returning to the things that chain you. Let go. Let it all fall. The guilt, the fear, the shame, the doubt. You think you'll collapse without them, but the truth is, They are the very weight keeping you from rising. I've already prepared the path, the breakthrough, the peace, the people you need, but I won't move until you open the door. So listen carefully. You have 21 minutes, not to panic, not to count seconds, but to realign your spirit, to make a choice, to turn your heart back toward me. Because when you say yes, everything changes. The heaviness will lift, the anxiety will fade, the fog in your mind will clear, and you'll finally breathe again. This isn't about religion or rituals, it's about rescue. You're standing in a sacred intersection between heaven and earth, between the noise of the world and the whisper of eternity. I've placed this message before you because your spirit called out, and I answered. You're not forgotten. You're not abandoned. You're being pursued by love itself. My angels are already moving. The storm around you is about to break, and what felt like an ending will become the moment your story begins again. This is your chance. Don't let it slip. You have 21 minutes. Speak to me before it's too late. Whisper if you must, cry if you need to, but don't stay silent. Your silence is the enemy's victory. Your surrender is your salvation. I'm here now, and I will rescue you. The clock is still ticking, my child. The first few minutes have already passed, but you are not late. You are right where you need to be. Here, listening, breathing, and beginning to understand that what you are feeling right now is not coincidence. It is alignment. Heaven's timing has collided with your life, and my spirit is whispering through every heartbeat. I am closer than the air around you. You don't need to reach high or strive hard to find me. I am already in motion. The rescue has begun. The chains that once mocked you are starting to tremble because they know the sound of my footsteps. You can't see it yet, but what you've been waiting for is shifting in the unseen. You've been asking, when will things change? When will you come through for me? And I say to you now, it's happening. Even when you can't feel it, even when everything looks still, my hand is already at work. But before I pull you out of the pit, I need you to trust me in it. You've been staring at the darkness around you, trying to find an exit. But what if I told you the exit was never around you? It's within you. That still trembling faith you have, that's where your breakthrough begins. Do you remember when you used to believe without proof? When you used to pray and actually expect an answer? That childlike trust you once had, it was never lost. It just fell asleep under the weight of disappointment. I'm waking it up again. I'm reigniting the small spark inside you that still believes I can make beauty out of ashes. The rescue I'm preparing isn't only about your situation, it's about your soul. I'm not just pulling you out of trouble. I'm pulling you out of who you thought you had to become to survive. You've worn strength like armor, pretending it doesn't hurt. You've smiled when you wanted to scream. You've convinced yourself that if you just work harder, stay quieter, endure longer, it'll all make sense. But my rescue isn't built on your strength. It's built on your surrender. Stop trying to swim against the current of your own pain. Let it carry you to me. Because the moment you stop fighting me, you'll finally feel me carrying you. I've seen the things that broke you. The betrayal that you still replay when no one's watching. The words that wounded you deeper than any blade could. The night you told yourself you were done, but you didn't give up entirely. Something inside you, a whisper said, hold on. That whisper was me. Every second since then, I've been rebuilding you in secret. While you thought you were falling apart, I was restoring what life tried to destroy. My child, listen. This storm won't last. The fog won't stay. And this chapter of silence is not the end. You've been thinking you lost your way, but really I've been rerouting you to where you were always meant to be. There's a reason I allowed some doors to shut so harshly. I saw what waited behind them. I heard conversations you didn't hear, felt intentions you couldn't sense. So, I closed what you thought was your blessing because I knew it would break you further. You said, God, why didn't you let that work out? And I said, because I love you too much to let you settle for less than your calling. You've been surrounded by people who saw your potential but feared your purpose. They tried to keep you small because they could feel my anointing on you. But this rescue is about reclaiming what was stolen. Your peace, your confidence, your voice. Yes, I said your voice because the enemy's biggest weapon against you has been silence. He's made you believe that your prayers don't matter, that your story doesn't count, that your words won't change anything. But I am breaking that lie tonight. Speak again, pray again, dream again. You don't need to see the whole miracle to know it's coming. You just need to take one step toward me, and I'll meet you with 10. Even now, my angels are standing around you. You may not see them, but the atmosphere around you has shifted. The attacks that used to reach you can't anymore. The darkness that used to suffocate you is losing power because you've chosen to listen. You've responded, and that response has already activated heaven's movement. I am rearranging things in ways you can't comprehend. The friend you thought abandoned you, I removed them to make space for someone divinely sent. The opportunity that slipped through your fingers, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. You think your life is delayed, but in my timeline, you are right on schedule. Every tear, every waiting season, every unanswered question, it all fits. This is the part where most people give up, where the waiting feels unbearable, where doubt whispers louder than faith. But not you, because you're different. You're chosen, and chosen ones don't quit halfway. They rise when everything says fall. You're about to see why the battle was so brutal. The enemy fought you hard because he knew what was coming. He saw the rescue I was preparing and tried to distract you before it arrived. But he failed, because you're hearing me now, and that means you've already won. Listen again. I am rescuing you, not in theory, not someday. Now, I am lifting the burden that's been sitting on your chest. I am silencing the thoughts that have been screaming in your head. I am restoring the strength you thought was gone forever. And soon you'll look back at this moment and realize it was the turning point, the second you stopped running and started listening. So don't move away from me now. Stay right here. Let my peace wash over you. Let my voice become louder than your fear. Because what happens next will not just surprise you, it will define you. You've got minutes left on the clock, but that's not to frighten you. It's to remind you that your moment is now. Every decision you make from here echoes in eternity. So choose faith over fear. Choose surrender over control. Choose me, because I've already chosen you. The heavens are aligning. The rescue is underway. And soon the very thing that tried to drown you will become the platform where you stand and say, God saved me. Stay awake, my child. The next part of your story begins soon, and I'll be right there, guiding every heartbeat. You've made it this far, my child. The clock is still running, but something inside you has already begun to shift. The walls are cracking. The fog is lifting. The sound you hear in your soul, that steady hum of awakening, is the sound of change breaking in the spirit. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but in the unseen realm, the rescue is fully in motion. You keep wondering, why me, Lord? Why would you rescue someone like me? And I answer, because you never stopped hoping, even when you thought you did. Because I saw your quiet faith when no one else did. Because I created you with a purpose that the darkness tried to bury, but could never kill. You think I'm rescuing you because you're fragile. No, I'm rescuing you because you are dangerous to the enemy's plans. You carry light. You carry authority. You carry my presence in a way that shakes the ground beneath darkness itself. This is why hell fought you so violently. This is why relationships broke suddenly, opportunities vanished, and peace became a memory. It wasn't because you failed. It was because you were marked. The enemy recognized something in you before you did. He saw what I placed inside you, a destiny too powerful to be ignored. You've been under spiritual attack not because you're weak, but because you are chosen for a mission. Every wound you carry, every scar on your heart, is proof that you've survived what was meant to destroy you. And that survival wasn't luck. It was divine preservation. When I looked down and saw you at your lowest, I whispered to the heavens, this one still believes. Even when you doubted me, I still saw faith in you. Even when you walked away, I walked beside you. Even when you thought your prayers hit the ceiling, I was already answering them behind the veil of time. I'm not just rescuing you from something. I'm rescuing you for something. You are being pulled out of the pit so you can pull others out. You are being healed so you can heal. You are being restored so you can become a testimony of my relentless grace. You've thought your pain was punishment. But pain has always been my classroom, and you, my student. I didn't allow it to destroy you. I used it to refine you. Every heartbreak stripped away false layers. Every delay stretched your faith. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Do you see it now? You weren't being broken, you were being built. You've been through a season of hiding because the enemy wanted to make you believe you were forgotten. But hidden seasons are holy seasons. The seed doesn't grow in sunlight first. It grows underground, where no one sees it. And now I say to you, the soil is splitting. The roots are ready. The sprout is breaking through. What's been hidden will now be revealed. You will walk into rooms you once thought you were unworthy of. You will speak words that will carry weight and healing. You will forgive those who wronged you, not because they deserve it, but because you finally understand that freedom isn't about them. It's about you. I am preparing to place you before people who need your voice. But before that can happen, you must know why I'm rescuing you. You are my messenger. You are my reflection. And I cannot allow you to remain where despair lives. When I said you have 21 minutes, it wasn't a countdown to fear. It was a countdown to awakening. You've been saying, God, I'm not strong enough. But I've never asked you to be strong alone. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. So let the tears fall. Let the surrender be real this time. Because when you finally let go of control, that's when I take over completely. Do you know what happens when heaven intervenes? Mountains move. Time bends. Wounds close that doctors said would never heal. Doors open where there were no walls. And suddenly, the impossible becomes your new reality. That's the rescue I'm bringing you into. But I need you to do one thing. Believe that it's for you, not for the pastor, not for your friend, not for the people you see as holier. You. You're the one I'm talking to. You're the one I've been chasing through the noise of the world. You're the one I've chosen to rise when everyone else falls asleep. You've wondered, why now? Why this moment? Because the hour is late and the world is growing darker. But I'm placing my light inside those who will not bow to fear. You are one of them. You are not meant to blend in. You are meant to break through. You've got less than 15 minutes left, not in panic, but in preparation. In these minutes, let go of what I've been asking you to release. That relationship, that secret habit, that anger you keep nursing, it cannot come with you into your next chapter. You must leave it behind to walk into the rescue I've designed. I've prepared peace for you, but peace can't live in the same space as resentment. I've prepared healing for you, but healing can't enter where bitterness rules. So my child, breathe deeply. Feel the weight you've been carrying begin to lift. The rescue isn't coming. It's here. The shift isn't future. It's happening in this very breath. You will not drown in this storm. You will not die in this valley. You will not lose what I promised you. You will stand again, stronger, clearer, freer. And you will know without a shadow of doubt that I, your God, never left you. Your rescue is not a dream. It's your reality unfolding. And before this countdown ends, you'll see the first light of your deliverance. I'm not just saying I'll rescue you, I already am. You've reached a holy point, my child. The clock still moves, but now so does heaven. Your response has been heard, not just as a whisper, but as a command that echoed through realms you cannot see. The moment you opened your heart, the heavens opened with it. Angels that had been standing still have now begun to move. Chains that once refused to break are snapping like dry twigs beneath my breath. Do you feel it? That sudden stillness, that trembling in the air around you? That's not fear, it's power. It's the spiritual climate changing around your life. You have chosen to respond, and in that decision, you've shifted the balance between despair and destiny. You thought your yes was small, but in the unseen world, it sounded like thunder. When you said, I surrender, heaven wrote it down. When you said, Lord, help me, armies of light were released. When you said, I believe, darkness lost its claim. You have no idea how powerful your response was. For years, the enemy built traps around your path, using doubt, regret, and exhaustion as his weapons. But you just cut through them all with one word of faith. Now he's confused because you were supposed to give up by now. You were supposed to stay silent, hopeless, and numb. But instead, you responded. And in that response, you broke patterns generations before you could not. Listen carefully because what I'm about to reveal is sacred. The rescue you're stepping into isn't just for you. It's for the bloodline behind you and the generations ahead. The curse that ran through your family stops here. The silence that haunted your heart ends now. What crushed others will not crush you. I have chosen you to stand as the breaker, the one who ends cycles and begins legacies. You didn't come this far to be ordinary. I've set you apart so that when others see you, they'll know it was not luck, not chance, but the hand of God that carried you through. You've spent years thinking I was distant. You prayed and thought I wasn't listening. But the truth is, I've been waiting for this moment, the moment where your will and my will align. When that happens, nothing can stop what comes next. I'm about to show you what divine alignment feels like. Doors that were sealed will begin to open. People who ignored you will suddenly remember your name. Opportunities that vanished will reappear, but this time under my timing, not yours. You are walking into a new rhythm, one that's not rushed, not chaotic, not desperate. It's steady, it's divine, it's led by my hand. I'm rewriting the story you thought was over. The chapter of loss is ending. The chapter of restoration has begun. But before I take you higher, I must remind you of something. Your response cannot end with words. It must live in your choices. The rescue I am unfolding will require your cooperation. I can part the sea, but you must walk through it. I can send manna, but you must gather it. I can open the door, but you must step through. You've prayed for signs, and I've sent them. You've asked for confirmation, and I've spoken. Now it's time to move. Don't wait for perfect clarity. Faith rarely comes with perfect vision. Faith is moving when it still feels uncertain. Faith is trusting me when the ground shakes beneath your feet. Do not fear the unknown. I live there. The place that scares you the most is often the place where your miracle is hidden. Step toward it. Take the leap you've been delaying, because the longer you wait, the louder the noise of doubt becomes. And you can't afford doubt in this moment. Remember, the countdown isn't to your end. It's to your awakening. Every minute draws you closer to breakthrough, to peace, to the version of you that has been waiting to breathe again. I am shaking your surroundings. Not to destroy you, but to reveal what's unshakable. People will fall away. Plans will shift. Comfort zones will collapse. But don't mourn what leaves. Celebrate what's coming. Because what's on the way will make sense of everything that's ever broken you. You've asked me, why do I lose people I love? Because some were never meant to stand where I'm taking you. Their presence was temporary, but their purpose in your journey was eternal. They taught you lessons that built the strength you need now. You must release them with grace. Letting go isn't losing, it's making room. And now I am filling that space with divine connections, people who will pray for you, not prey on you, voices that will lift you, not drain you, paths that will align with your destiny, not detour your peace. The rescue is not only lifting you out, it's placing you into the life you were always meant to live. Can you feel that tug in your spirit? That quiet pull telling you not to give up again? That's me. That's my spirit breathing inside you, reminding you that you're still alive for a reason. You still have work to do. You still have promises waiting to be fulfilled. Don't worry about how. Don't worry about when. Just stay still and know that I am God. The details are mine. The timing is mine. The outcome is mine. All I ask is that you stay in position. Keep your heart open, your faith steady, and your eyes fixed on me. Because when the final moments of this countdown arrive, the very thing you thought was delayed will appear suddenly. I move suddenly, but never too soon. In one moment, Joseph went from prisoner to ruler. In one night, the Israelites went from slaves to free. In one breath, I can do the same for you. So don't faint. Don't doubt. The shaking you feel isn't the end. It's the sound of walls coming down. The pressure you feel isn't punishment. It's birth. The delay you feel isn't denial. It's preparation. You are almost there. You've already shifted the atmosphere with your faith. And when this rescue fully manifests, it won't look like recovery. It'll look like resurrection. Stay awake, my child. The next few minutes carry the miracle you've been praying for. Keep your eyes on me. Because what comes next will change everything. The atmosphere around you has changed, my child. You may not have words for it yet, but your spirit knows. Something in the unseen has shifted. The battle that once surrounded you is losing its hold, and light is starting to break through cracks that darkness once sealed shut. This is not imagination. These are the first signs of your rescue. Look closer. Haven't you noticed the strange calm that's replaced the noise in your heart? The peace that doesn't make sense? That's me. You've been living under pressure for so long that you forgot what peace even feels like. But now I am pouring it back into you. Not as a whisper, but as a flood. I told you the moment you responded, heaven would move, and it has. You are standing in the aftershock of divine interference. People will start to notice something about you, though they won't understand it. Some will say you seem lighter. Others will say you're glowing. But what they're really seeing is my presence settling over you like morning light. The rescue doesn't begin when everything looks different. It begins when you do. I am removing the residue of old battles from your spirit, the heaviness that clung to you like smoke after fire. It's lifting. The exhaustion that made even breathing feel hard. It's dissolving. You've carried the weight of survival for too long, but I never meant for you to survive. I meant for you to live. You've mistaken numbness for strength, silence for peace, isolation for rest. But I'm rewriting all of that now. You will laugh again, and it won't feel forced. You will trust again, and it won't end in betrayal. You will love again, and this time, it will last. Your heart has been through a storm, but I am restoring it piece by piece, with tenderness only heaven understands. I am not just healing you. I am rebuilding you into something stronger, something unbreakable. And as I do, signs will begin to follow you, small at first, then undeniable. The number of minutes left on your clock? They are sacred. Each one will reveal something. You'll notice patterns that seem too perfect to be random, songs that play with words you needed to hear, strangers who say things they couldn't possibly know, dreams that feel more real than waking life. These are not coincidences, they are coordinates. I am guiding you. Every sign is a breadcrumb leading you home. When you see the repetition of numbers, 333, 444, 777, pause. That's me reminding you I'm near. When you feel chills without cold, peace without logic, tears without reason, those are not emotions. Those are visitations. When you sense déjà vu or hear a voice in your spirit that says wait, go, or listen, that's me steering you between the traps the enemy still sets. The rescue isn't chaos, it's choreography. Every step, every encounter, every delay, it's all part of a design you'll understand soon. I'm not just removing the darkness, I'm arranging the light. But I need you to protect this peace I'm giving you, because as the signs increase, so will distractions. The enemy will try to pull you back into arguments, temptations, and doubts that no longer belong to you. He'll whisper, see, nothing's changed. But you must remember, transformation always begins before it's visible. Just because the fruit hasn't bloomed doesn't mean the roots aren't growing. Hold your peace like armor. Guard your focus like treasure. You've spent years fighting storms that weren't even yours to fight. Now, your only battle is to stay still and trust me. Do you see that? The flicker of hope that keeps returning even when your mind says it's over? That's resurrection life stirring in your soul. The part of you that the world tried to bury is breathing again. You are no longer who you were yesterday. Heaven has placed a new identity over you. You are not the broken one anymore. You are the becoming one. There will be signs in the physical realm too. Things you've been praying for will start aligning unexpectedly. People who vanished will reach out with words of apology. Doors that slammed will creak open again. But this time, you'll walk through with discernment, and there will also be endings. Some painful but necessary. Because before I build, I always clear the ground. If someone walks away, don't chase them. If something collapses, don't rebuild it. If silence replaces what used to be constant noise, don't fill it. Because what's leaving is making room for what's meant. You asked me once, Lord, How will I know you're really rescuing me? And I say to you now, because peace will return before the problem disappears. Because your heart will stop fearing what hasn't even happened yet. Because you'll begin to see beauty in things you used to curse. That is how you'll know. Rescue doesn't always roar like thunder. Sometimes it comes as a quiet turning of the tide, and the tide has turned. The enemy can no longer hold ground in your life. His accusations are empty, his weapons are dull, his access is denied. I have sealed the places where he used to enter. What used to torment your nights will now bow before your dawn. Your name has been spoken in the courts of heaven. Your destiny has been reactivated. And your life is no longer ordinary. It's marked. Every time you breathe, the air around you testifies, this one belongs to God. So don't be afraid when the shaking continues. The rescue comes with motion. Buildings tremble before they fall. Hearts beat faster before they heal. Storms rage hardest before they clear. You are in the middle of divine movement. Even now, I am sending people toward you. Helpers, encouragers, divine alignments. You won't need to beg or chase or explain. They'll just know. Because I will place your name on their spirit the same way I place their purpose in your path. Everything is aligning. Everything is unfolding. You have only a few moments left in this countdown, but those moments will be the most miraculous yet. Stay alert. Stay soft. Stay mine. Because before this window closes, you will witness what eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. What happens when a human heart says yes? When heaven answers with power. You are not waiting for your rescue anymore. You are walking in it. And soon, when the clock strikes its final second, you will see the God who promised to rescue you has been standing beside you the whole time. You can feel it now, can't you? The air around you feels different. The same walls that once echoed your pain now seem to breathe with you. That heaviness that used to sit in your chest, it's lighter, almost gone. And yet deep inside, there's a holy trembling. That's not fear. That's awakening. The rescue is no longer coming. It's here. But this is the part most don't see. The moment when my light not only pulls you out, but begins to reveal why you were chosen to be pulled out at all. You see, my child, I never rescue without reason. Every deliverance carries a divine assignment. Every redemption carries a mission. Every healed heart becomes a healer. I didn't save you because you were perfect. I saved you because you were ready. Ready to understand that the very pain you survived was preparation. Ready to realize that what you called ruin was actually refinement. Ready to see that the very tears you thought were wasted watered the soil for what's about to bloom. The reason the rescue came now, at this exact moment, is because you are entering the season where your purpose can no longer be delayed. I've waited for your heart to soften, for your spirit to open, for your soul to surrender completely. And now that it has, the mission begins. You have always asked, why me, God? Why this life, this path, this pain? And my answer is this, because you were willing to carry what others would have broken under. You see, some of my strongest warriors never look like warriors at all. They look like the quiet ones who cry in secret. They look like the tired ones who still show up. They look like the overlooked ones who never stopped believing I could still use them. You are one of them. Your rescue wasn't just about saving your life. It's about reclaiming your authority. You once allowed the world to define you by your wounds. Now I will define you by your witness. Every scar on your soul is proof that light can live where darkness tried to dwell. Every heartbreak that once made you question me will soon become the story that leads others back to me. Do you remember how you said, I have nothing left to give? And yet here you are, still breathing, still reaching, still feeling something stir inside you. That's because I never let the fire in you die. I shielded it when you didn't even know it was still burning. And now that spark is becoming flame. The people who walked away, the opportunities that disappeared, they didn't reject you. I removed them because they couldn't go where I'm taking you next. You have a calling too sacred to be diluted by small minds and shallow hearts. I had to isolate you so you could hear me clearly. I had to break the noise so the whisper could be loud again. And now you're hearing me, not with your ears, but with your spirit. That nudge to forgive, that's me. That sudden peace about what once hurt you, that's me too. that deep knowing that something greater is coming. That's not hope, it's prophecy. You have been chosen as a carrier of my light in dark places. There are people tied to your obedience, souls who will only find me because you said yes. Your story is not a collection of pain, it's a map for others to follow out of the darkness. That's why the enemy fought you so hard. He knew that if you ever realized who you are, he'd lose his grip, not just on you, but on everyone you're meant to reach. You are a threat to the kingdom of darkness, and you always have been. You just didn't know it yet, but now you do. Now every step you take sends tremors through hell. Now every prayer you whisper shakes foundations. Now every moment you choose faith over fear becomes a declaration that I still reign. This is why your rescue had to be public in spirit, even if private in sight, because soon your life will testify louder than any sermon ever could. You will walk into rooms carrying peace where chaos used to rule. You will speak, and people will feel truth without you needing to explain. You will create, build, speak, love, and lead with a grace that doesn't come from you, but flows through you. And the world will know this one was rescued by God. But don't mistake the rescue for rest. No, this is just the beginning. I am calling you to step into what I prepared long ago. Divine assignments that have your name on them. They've been waiting for you to heal enough to hold them. Your purpose is not behind you, it's in front of you, and it's closer than you think. You will begin to feel it soon. The old desires will fade. The things you once chased will no longer move you. You'll crave peace more than attention, truth more than approval, purpose more than comfort. That's how you'll know you've stepped into alignment with me. And when you walk in that alignment, miracles won't be rare. They'll be routine. You'll pray and mountains will move quietly. You'll speak and hearts will soften. You'll dream and doors will open without you knocking. Because those who respond to my rescue don't just live, they carry my power. But hear me clearly. This power isn't for pride. It's for service. I didn't rescue you to make you famous. I rescued you to make you faithful. The next season of your life will not be about proving yourself. It will be about revealing me. The world will try to pull you back into its noise, but don't return to what I rescued you from. You can visit the past only to testify, not to live there. When fear returns, remind it who saved you. When doubt whispers, remind it who called you. When darkness knocks, remind it who lives inside you. You are no longer the lost one. You are the light bearer. I have entrusted you with something eternal, the power to bring others home. And as you walk, signs will follow. As you speak, lives will shift. As you trust, chains will break, because you now carry the authority of someone who's been rescued and redeemed. So rise, shake off the dust, wipe the tears. You've spent enough time surviving, now it's time to shine. Your rescue wasn't random, it was revelation. And the revelation is this: you are mine. You always were. And now the world will finally see it too. The countdown continues, but not toward fear, toward fulfillment. The moment has arrived where your rescue begins to ripple outward. You've been lifted from the pit, not to stand in silence, but to become a living testimony of my power. The same hands that once trembled in weakness are now anointed to lift others. The same voice that once cried out for help will soon speak hope into those still drowning. This, my child, is where rescue turns into revival. Look around. You may not notice it immediately, but the atmosphere you walk into will start to change. People will feel peace when you enter a room. Chaos will lose its grip in your presence. That's because I'm no longer just working for you. I'm working through you. You prayed, Lord, use me, not realizing that prayer would require breaking, healing, rebuilding. But now that you've surrendered, I can finally pour through you without resistance. Your rescue was never just for survival. It was the ignition of something greater. I've placed a new fire in you, one that will not fade when storms rise. This flame is my spirit, and everywhere you go, it will spread. You are not a bystander in my plan. You are a spark in the divine chain reaction that brings light into the world's darkest corners. Do you understand why you had to endure so much pain? Because I can only entrust deep healing to those who've known deep hurt. You now carry an empathy that heaven values. You've looked into the eyes of despair and refused to let it win. That gives your words weight. your touch, power, your presence, purpose. This is why I've called you, not to preach from pulpits, but to live from truth. Your life itself will become a sermon. Every moment you forgive when you could hate, every time you love when you could withdraw, every time you rise when you could crumble, those are miracles in motion. People will ask, how did you survive that? How do you still have peace after everything? And you'll say, because I didn't walk alone. That answer alone will awaken hearts. But understand this, revival doesn't begin in crowds. It begins in one heart set on fire. That's what's happening now. I am turning your pain into power, your weakness into witness. You were once searching for rescue. Now you are the rescue. You are the proof that my light still wins. You will start noticing something else too. The enemy's voice will grow quieter. His tactics will lose their edge. The same lies that once crushed you will now sound hollow. Because when truth takes root, deception dies. Your mind will begin to clear. You'll wake up with purpose, not panic. You'll look at your reflection and finally recognize the strength in your own eyes. Not pride, not arrogance, but holy confidence. You'll begin to notice how your thoughts shift from why me to send me. That's the sound of revival being born in you. And listen, this fire I've placed inside you isn't meant to stay contained. It will draw others who are lost in the same darkness you once knew. Don't push them away. They are coming to find the light that rescued you. They won't understand what's happening in them, but you will. You'll feel it, the same trembling you felt when I first spoke to you. And in that moment, you'll realize something beautiful. You're no longer the one being rescued, you're the rescuer. I've chosen you to be my hands in this generation, to remind people that grace still reaches, that mercy still heals, that love still saves. You won't need to argue or convince. Your peace will preach louder than any words ever could. But don't be surprised when resistance comes. Revival always attracts opposition. The same way storms tried to stop you before, they'll try again. But this time they won't win. Because you no longer fight for victory. You fight from victory. You'll face people who doubt your transformation. Some will mock the change. Others will test it. Don't let their disbelief disturb your peace. They're not rejecting you. They're wrestling with what your light exposes in them. Keep shining anyway. Keep loving anyway. Keep walking anyway. Your stability will convict their chaos. Your calm will confront their fear. Your hope will challenge their despair. Because your rescue carries a fragrance, the scent of heaven, and wherever you go, it lingers. Even after you leave, people will feel the echo of your peace. That's how revival spreads. Not through noise, but through presence. This is why I'm training you to stay humble, to remember the pit I pulled you from, not in guilt, but in gratitude. Because the moment you forget where you came from, you lose compassion for those still there. Never forget what I've done for you. Never forget who I was when no one else showed up. Because every time you remember, the fire burns brighter, and that fire will begin to call others by name. You'll start seeing them. People carrying silent battles, wearing invisible wounds. You'll feel drawn to them without knowing why. That's not coincidence. That's me directing your steps. You'll speak life into someone about to give up. You'll remind a stranger of their worth. You'll pray for someone you barely know, and they'll weep without understanding why. That's revival. That's the rescue multiplying. Heaven will trust you with moments that seem small but shift destinies. You'll learn that miracles wait chandori. When you speak kindness, I'll breathe power through it. When you choose forgiveness, I'll release healing through it. When you stand firm, I'll release peace through it. You are my instrument now, tuned through pain, refined by fire, played by grace. This next part of your life won't require striving. It will require stillness. Don't chase impact. Embody presence. Because when I move through you, even your silence will carry meaning. The clock continues, but don't fear the ticking. It's not counting down to an ending. It's counting forward to a beginning. A new era in your story has started. You've stepped into the flow of divine movement. From this point on, your life will no longer echo survival. It will echo salvation. People will look at you and see what deliverance looks like when it wears human skin. They will see me through you. This is what rescue was always meant to become: a revival of hearts, a restoration of hope, a reminder that no one falls too far for my hand to reach. And you, my chosen one, are the living proof. The rescue is complete, my child. The storm that once raged around you has quieted. The chains that used to bind your heart have fallen away. But this moment right here is the most sacred part of your journey. The moment after deliverance, the calm after the flood, the space between rescue and rebuilding. This is where you must be careful, because though the battle outside has ended, the battle within will now begin. When I pull someone out of darkness, the enemy doesn't vanish. He just changes his strategy. He stops attacking your weakness and starts targeting your focus. He whispers, "You're safe now. You can relax. You don't need to pray as much. You don't need to stay close." But that is how many lose the flame I gave them, by mistaking peace for permission to drift. So listen to me. The flame inside you is not a decoration. It's your defense. Protect it. Guard it like breath. Every time you speak truth, the flame burns brighter. Every time you choose forgiveness, it grows stronger. Every time you resist old patterns, it expands. But every time you let fear back in, it dims. This flame is my spirit within you, the same light that carried you out of the pit, the same fire that will guide you forward. You don't have to fuel it with striving. You fuel it with surrender. Stay connected to me, and you will never burn out. You've reached a place of peace, but don't confuse peace with stillness. My peace is alive. It moves, breathes, and calls you forward. There are still mountains to climb, promises to reach, and souls tied to your obedience. The rescue wasn't the finish line. It was the starting point of your purpose. I've seen the thoughts that come when you're alone now. The questions, the quiet fears. What if it all falls apart again? What if I go back to who I was? And I say to you, you won't, because this time, you're not walking alone. Before, you knew about me. Now, you know me. Before, you asked me to move. Now I move through you. Before, you looked for signs. Now you are the sign. You've become a carrier of light, and darkness cannot reclaim what light has claimed. But I need you to build a fortress around this new peace. Not walls of pride or isolation, but boundaries of faith. There are people who love the old you, the one who doubted, who apologized for existing, who dimmed their light to fit in. They'll try to pull you back into that version of yourself because it made them comfortable. Don't go. You don't belong where you used to hide. You don't owe explanations to those who only noticed your struggle, but never your strength. You don't need to prove that you've changed. Transformation speaks louder than words ever could. Some people won't recognize you anymore, and that's okay. You didn't evolve to impress them. You evolved to obey me. Protecting your flame means protecting your atmosphere. Be careful what you let in, what you watch, what you hear, what you dwell on. The enemy can't extinguish your light, but he'll try to distract you until you set it down yourself. So fill your mind with what strengthens you. Let worship be your weapon. Let gratitude be your shield. Let silence be your sanctuary. You don't have to live loud to live powerfully. My greatest moves happen in quiet places, hearts that stay still enough to hear me whisper. Do you remember how you once begged me to speak? Now you'll find me in the small things, the flicker of candlelight, the wind brushing your face, the sudden peace that settles when you start to worry. I'm teaching you to hear me in subtleness, because those who can hear me in whispers will always be ready when I thunder. I've anointed your sensitivity. The same empathy that once overwhelmed you is now your gift. You will feel others' pain, but this time not to drown in it, to heal it. Your heart is no longer a wound, it's a well. And through you, I will draw water for others who are thirsty for hope. But remember, you can't pour from an empty vessel. Before you give, receive. Before you speak, listen. Before you move, rest. You were not saved to strive. You were saved to shine. And shining doesn't mean burning yourself out for everyone who asks for your light. Some will come to you not to be healed, but to be fed by your energy. Learn to discern. I didn't rescue you to be drained. I rescued you to be directed. There will be days when you'll feel your old shadows whisper again, the anxiety, the guilt, the restlessness. When that happens, don't panic. Shadows can't exist without light. Their appearance means your flame is still burning. When fear returns, don't wrestle it. Just remind it where it stands. Behind you, not before you. You've stepped into a season where presence will matter more than performance. You don't have to earn favor anymore. You already have it. You don't have to chase destiny. It's already unfolding. You don't have to prove your worth. It's already written in my blood. Protecting the flame means remembering these truths when life tries to make you forget. You will wake up some days and not feel strong. That's okay. You're not called to feel strong. When you are weak, I am strong. When you fall silent, I still sing over you. When you grow tired, I will carry you until your feet find faith again. I am not going anywhere. Not today, not ever. The rescue was not temporary, it was eternal. My covenant with you is sealed, and nothing can undo what I have declared over your life. So stay near, my child. Stay humble, stay alert, stay lit, because the same light that rescued you will soon lead others home. And when they ask, how did you keep your fire alive? You'll simply smile and say, because I never walked alone. You've guarded the flame well, my child. It burns steady now, not wild and desperate as before, but calm and sure. You've learned to live by light, not by noise. You've learned that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply endures. You've learned that peace is not the absence of pain. It's the presence of purpose. Now it's time. The rescue was never meant to leave you standing still. It was meant to lead you forward. You've walked through fire, and not one spark consumed you. You've stood in storms that should have drowned you, yet here you stand, still breathing, still chosen, still becoming. Now the time has come for me to reveal what all of this was preparing you for. Every delay, every heartbreak, every lonely night. It was not wasted. It was training. Training your spirit, Tom. Training your faith to see without sight. Training your heart to love without needing to understand. You have been refined into a vessel that can now carry destiny. The waiting was never punishment, it was alignment. While you were waiting, I was building what you would walk into. While you were healing, I was shaping doors only your healed hands could open. While you were learning to let go, I was making room for what was always meant for you. And now, the path is opening. You will start to see acceleration where there once was stagnation. Ideas that sat dormant will suddenly awaken. Connections you thought were lost will reappear, now divinely timed. Opportunities will unfold with such precision that you'll know, this isn't luck, this is me. But hear me clearly, I'm not blessing you to make you comfortable. I'm blessing you to make you effective. I'm sending you where light is scarce and truth is rare. I'm positioning you where your story will unlock others. I'm releasing you into a world that desperately needs what I've placed inside you. This next chapter is not about survival, it's about service. Do you remember the times you prayed, God, use me? That prayer has been answered. But remember, to be used by me means to be emptied of yourself daily. Your gifts are not the goal, they are the bridge. Your blessings are not the reward, they are the resources. You are stepping into a divine assignment, not a comfortable one. You will go where others hesitate, love those who others avoid, speak what others are afraid to say. But you will not go alone. I will go before you. My spirit will be your compass. My peace will be your confirmation. My presence will be your protection. There will be moments you question whether you're ready, but readiness isn't about perfection, it's about obedience. Every time you say yes, heaven moves. Every step of faith sends ripples through eternity. I will open doors that make no sense to the natural mind. I will surround you with people who carry keys to your next level. And when you walk through those doors, remember, favor is not for flaunting, it's for fulfilling. The world has enough voices chasing fame. I'm raising voices that carry flame. You are one of them. Your words will carry a weight they never had before. When you speak, hearts will soften. When you pray, peace will descend. When you act in obedience, miracles will follow quietly behind you. Don't chase signs, live in surrender, and the signs will chase you. There will be times when it feels too big for you, when fear whispers, you can't handle this. And in those moments, remember, I never called you because you could. I called you because you would. The difference between those who fall And those who rise is not talent, it's trust. And I can trust you now because you've been through enough to know that without me, you are nothing. But with me, you can do all things. The fire you carry is not ordinary. It's revival wrapped in skin. Wherever you walk, things will come back to life. Dreams will reignite, faith will return, hearts will heal, but you must walk with humility. The moment pride enters, presence exits. Keep your head low and your spirit high. Give me the glory, and I will give you the nations. You'll start noticing how time feels different now. Things that used to take years will take weeks. Things that used to exhaust you will now flow easily. That's what happens when you walk in divine timing. Grace becomes your rhythm. Don't rush. Don't compare. What I'm doing in you can't be measured against anyone else's journey. What took others decades will happen in moments for you, because your surrender has created space for acceleration. This is what I meant when I said 21 minutes. It was never about seconds. It was about surrender. It was about how quickly you would respond and how deeply you would believe. And you did. Now heaven moves swiftly on your behalf. Every seed you planted in faith is about to sprout. Every tear you sowed in silence is about to water your harvest. You will look around and realize you are standing in the field you once prayed for. But when that happens, remember this. The harvest is not for hoarding, it's for healing. Your blessings will be too big to contain because they're meant to overflow into others. Feed the hungry, speak to the broken, lift those who can't stand, give where it hurts, forgive before they apologize. That's how you keep the river flowing. The rescue that saved you has now become the mission that sends you. You are no longer the one being pulled out. You are the one reaching down. This is how heaven multiplies, one rescued soul becoming a rescuer for many. So walk, not timidly, but boldly, not as who you were, but as who I've made you. Walk into the rooms you once thought you were unworthy of. Walk into the dreams that used to scare you. Walk into the calling that has waited your whole life to begin. You've been rescued for a reason. Now it's time to fulfill it. And as you go, remember, I'm not watching from a distance. I'm walking beside you, still guiding, still guarding, still God. The countdown is almost complete, but what begins when it reaches zero will not be an ending. It will be the unveiling of everything I promised. The final seconds are here, my child. The 21 minutes I spoke of have passed, but they were never about time. They were about transformation. You entered this moment trembling, unsure, desperate for me to show up. And now look where you stand, not broken, but reborn, not searching for me, but surrounded by me. The rescue is done. The countdown has finished, but the story has just begun. You have crossed the line between surviving and living. The version of you that walked into these moments will not walk out. That self, the one who doubted, feared, and carried the weight of the world, has been buried beneath my mercy. What rises now is the one I always saw, the one I always loved, the one who has finally remembered who they are. You are mine, and I am yours. Listen closely. Heaven is silent for a reason. The silence you feel right now is not absence. It is completion. The storm has ended, the war is won, and the battlefield that once echoed with chaos is now still under my peace. You kept thinking the rescue would look like flashing miracles and loud revelations. But the truest miracles rarely shout. They arrive quietly in the rhythm of a healed heartbeat, in the calm of a mind once flooded by fear, in the tears that fall not from pain but from release. You've waited your whole life for this, the moment where faith becomes sight, where all the running finally stops, and you realize that I was never behind you trying to catch up. I was always ahead, waiting for you to return. The clock has stopped ticking, but eternity has started singing. And that song, that low hum in your soul that you've been hearing all along, that's the sound of heaven recognizing you again. The lost has been found. The broken has been made whole. The story has come full circle. Do you feel it? That deep, still peace wrapping around you like light? That's not temporary. It's eternal. What I've sealed in you cannot be undone by the noise of the world. You are walking proof that grace outruns guilt, that mercy outweighs mistakes, that love outlasts loss. The rescue was not about pulling you out once. T was about making sure you never fall the same way again. I didn't just lift you, I anchored you. I didn't just cleanse you, I clothed you in purpose. I didn't just forgive you, I crowned you with destiny. You now carry my mark. You now walk with heaven's authority. When you speak, darkness will remember your name. When you pray, hell will tremble. When you move, chains will break around others without you even noticing. Because you are not the rescued, you are the rescuer reborn. From this day forward, I want you to live differently. Not cautious, confident, not fearful, faithful, not waiting for life to begin, walking in it fully. Every sunrise you see now is proof of promise. Every breath you take is evidence of grace. Every moment you live from this point forward is a continuation of this rescue, lived out loud, step by step, day by day. And yes, you will still face storms. You will still hear the whispers of doubt, still feel the sting of human pain. But now you carry something that can't be shaken, the memory of being found. Whenever fear returns, look back on this moment. Whenever temptation rises, remember this rescue. Whenever life feels heavy again, say my name, and you will feel it. The same power that raised you up still pulsing through your soul. The countdown was never about urgency. It was about awakening. You had 21 minutes to respond because I needed you to see that when you finally stop running, heaven doesn't take days or years to move. It takes seconds. The moment you said yes, angels were dispatched. The moment you said help, chains shattered. The moment you believed, the rescue began. And now it is finished. From here, you will walk into promises you thought you lost. You will see doors open that were once sealed shut. You will feel me speak through you, love through you, heal through you. You will become a walking altar. Wherever you stand, I will dwell. There will come a day when someone else will look at you the same way you once looked at me, desperate for rescue, trembling in pain, unsure if they can be saved. And when that happens, you will smile softly and say, "You can, because he rescued me." That is how the rescue lives on. That is how heaven multiplies through the hearts of the redeemed. You have been marked by eternity. You have been renamed by grace. You are no longer who the world says you are. You are chosen. You are light. You are mine. So now step into the life that's been waiting for you. Love deeply, walk boldly, speak truth gently, forgive freely. Carry the fire I gave you until the day I call you home. And when that day comes, when your final breath meets eternity, you will hear the same voice you hear now, whispering through the silence. I told you I would rescue you, and I did. The countdown is over. The mission has begun. Now go and live like someone heaven pulled back from the edge. Because you were not just saved, you were sent.